like more than 1,000 drones of PISARV are being in service of Indian Army.
What exactly serving a nation in 2026 we feel to you?
Operation Sindoor also, we were serving a lot of drones to Indian Army at unknown locations. I won't quote the location. Mrs. Arima Sanal ma'am, she said like we have saved at least 100 plus lives. During COVID, we tried to help society when there was no vaccine also.
What was the thinking behind those underwater drones?
What we do at PISARV, like the way self-driving car is, we have also created self-flying drones. We are in almost every geography, be it Leh Ladakh at 22,000 feet, our drones are flying there. Be it Jaisalmer, be it Arunachal Pradesh, be it Northeast, our drones are everywhere.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today. It's a pleasure to host you. Let's start from the very early so that we all get the essence also. So can you take me back to the moment when you made this decision of dropping the giants like Adobe and Motorola, and joining in for building a DeepTech company and AI company in India firstly?
So Taneesha, it started way back somewhere around 2018 when I was working with big giants. Okay, and before that, like I had to move to Indore for some personal reasons. So that time it was not planned. Like we've been in Indore for so long time, but once we reached here, once we settled here, the city is very vibrant. The people are also very good. So then that time we decided like. We have to be here and we have to set up something for our country. Prior to that, I already had a good experience of working with many multinational companies, and with a strong tech background, I, along with my partner, which is my wife, Rosni Sukla, and my other partner, Durgesh Sukla, we decided like let us build something which we can be proud of, using which we can solve, if not all, then most of the problem of our country. With that, we started. With that intention, we started PISARV. Once we started in 2018, the journey was not very smooth or roller coaster. We started with innovative AI, AR based 3D product for education because we thought like we should start with the children. We should help them in better learning. The way they learn, they used to learn everything was video and 2D content. We were the first one in India to bring something 3D in the classroom, which I can proudly say is now more than 3,000 plus schools across the country, and it has been expanded into 5 big countries, including India is there, Nepal is there, then UK is there, and few countries in Africa. So, but what happened like when we started, just after that, the COVID came, and everything was like we were thinking कि अभी start ही क्या हो गया. Everything came to stand still. Like we were told not to move out and all those things. During that time, what we did now, we used our technical expertise to create something for the betterment of the people. So in the first wave, when there was no vaccine or anything, we created something called physical distancing system, which we installed at the Indore airport. Indore airport was the first in the world to establish any such system at the airport. We received a very wide acknowledgement and appreciation for that. I would say more than 100 newspapers covered us for that invention, and that boosted our morale further. So that's how we started PISARV. Then till 2023, we were mainly into robotics and education system. Then slowly we realized like we can also leverage our potential for the betterment of our defense forces. Since we have a good experience, we thought of leveraging that, and with that we started our defense vertical in 2023.
Yes, that was actually, I was also seeing that. Firstly, you mentioned that you came back to Indore. So, like, I think Bangalore is being traditionally a tech hub, and it is expanding, it's ever growing. Everyone wants office there or either in Hyderabad. What was that conscious decision that you guys made? Was it easy to test your drones or test your tech in that not so traditionally chosen hub? or like what was that operating? How is it operating outside the traditional tech, typical tech startup tech ecosystem?
So, like, when we started PISARV, that was like, I would say, like, I and my wife and Durgesh, who is my brother-in-law also, we had some constraint at that time. So we had to settle in Indore. They are from Indore and I am from outside. So we settled here for some of the family reasons. Then we started loving this country. I totally admire Bangalore and Hyderabad. They are definitely tech giants. Like you will find a lot of the talent. But trust me, like in Indore also there is no dearth of talent. There are many talented people here, and there are many companies which are doing very well at the global level at Indore also. Though Indore is not as big as Bangalore in terms of, I would say, like number of offices and all. But if I talk about the talent or at least the zeal in the people to do something, they are not lesser. So we are getting very good candidates here, very good teammates here. That is the one thing. From defense company point of view, strategically Indore is a better option. Reason being, we are very close to Mahu. It's like 30 kilometers from here. And Mahu is the biggest training center for defense forces in India. Be it armed force or be it Indian Army. So in Mahu there are three big verticals are there, like for infantry is there, then Army War College is there, then a big center for MCT, which we call the for telecommunication, is a very big center is there. So all three big verticals are here, and I might be wrong, but what I have been told, like each army officer in each tenure at least comes Mahu once. So we get an opportunity to interact with most of the people here, who from Mahu travel to the different parts of the country, and so it's a good base for us to be at Mahu, Indore actually. So strategically also, for defense, from defense point of view, Indore is very good. That is one thing. Then we have also BSF center here at Indore, so that is another advantage we do have. And Indore is I would say less populous city, so we have some advantage. Ease of accessing the thing, ease of doing the business, and the traffic is fortunately less here. So that is another advantage.
Indore being a very strategic location then for you, because you can access the defense related people over there. Do you think that was one, like you started with the education edtech, and for me personally I think defense and edtech, they're altogether two different sectors, and you went through edtech to defense. Was that being one of the reasons?
Yeah, so I totally agree. Both of them are different sector, but if you see our edtech sector also now, we tried to break the convention by creating something innovative there. And the same zeal we are carrying in the defense sector. As we move ahead in this podcast, I will tell you, like in the defense also, like when we're talking about the drones or something like that. I feel pride to share my team achievement. Like we have in-house flight controller with Scratch, like the hardware as well as the software. We have our in-house remote control, which is doing frequency hopping. We have our Bharat drone operating system, which I would say unique in India at least, which is completely EW resilient and has already been used by armed forces. I feel proud to say here, like more than 1,000 drones of PISARV are being in service of Indian Army. During Operation Sindoor also, we were serving a lot of drones to Indian Army at unknown locations. I won't quote the location. They are actively being used. As of now also, I am very sure some of the PISARV drones will be in air and will be used by Indian Army. So at that level we are operating. So again, it's mainly the innovation and zeal to do something for the betterment of the either society, for the children, or for the defense forces. Ultimately, it helps India grow at the global platform.
Like often defense tech, we often see defense tech through a very tactical lens, I would say. And could you share, you guys are working with the classroom, and Saril is also there. So so how you repurpose that military guarded systems, drone capabilities into something that make impact for the civilians, and how that Yes.
Yeah. So if I talk about the drones, definitely they are helping our armed forces. Like, let me give you some real examples. Like, there are certain terrains which are difficult to be recce by individuals. Okay? Drone can very easily fly there in those difficult terrains. Suppose it's raining heavily outside. Imagine a person going outside, standing in the rain and doing the recce, whereas a drone, as a machine, can go and do those things. So, like, we are helping our armed forces, making their life easier, making them to take better decisions, enabling them with future tech, which is our responsibility also, because they are also like serving our country day and night in difficult terrain. So at least this is what we can do. From society towards the society, we are also trying to help. One way is definitely we are providing employment to multiple people. So that is, I would say, a small contribution from us to society. We are trying to basically onboard as many as people. In our team also, we make sure the gender equality. We also try to help women also, like, who cannot come to the office. Some of women work in the sales team. We do not force them to come to the office. They work most of the time from their home at their closest environment. Like the role which doesn't require you to be present in the office, we generally do not call them in the office. So that they also feel independent. Though we are a not very big team, we are a team of around 30 people. But I still think that make a very small impact, but at least some impact we are making toward the society. Toward the schools, like we are helping schools and NGOs who cannot afford the costlier education solution through we are giving them Sarl at very less price or at no cost to multiple NGOs. Then there is another thing which I wanted to highlight, especially for Sarl. There are gifted childs who are immensely getting benefited from the Sarl. Because for them, like teaching them requires very specific kind of knowledge, and grabbing their attention is a very big challenge. Let me give a real example. Suppose we are talking face to face, so our attention will be very high towards the person with whom I or you are interacting, correct? But when we are when you are seeing yourself in a mirror or say in a video call, still your attention will be higher. For those kids, when they see themselves in this big screen along with some 3D models, which they feel like it's among themselves, by default, a curiosity comes and we get their attention. And once we get their attention, then we can teach them few basic things or whatever the teacher finds comfortable. So that is also helping society in a way through technology. Then during COVID, we tried to help society when there was no vaccine also. That time physical distancing was the only solution. So we tried to install those physical distancing system at airport. In the airport we installed. I'm sure we have saved many lives. This is not what I am saying. This is what the respective airport authority, that time airport director, Mrs. Arima Sanyal ma'am, she said like we have saved at least 100 plus lives by preventing them to getting the COVID. Because that time mask and physical distancing was the only thing, and when you are entering the airport, that's the area where you are prone to catch infection because you are standing close to each other.
Yeah.
So, in the second wave of COVID, we also did something, though that is, I believe every techie guy should do. So that time, there was a very big scarcity of bed in the hospital, like everyone was rushing at it. So we made an automated bot that time for our city, Indore and nearby area. So whenever you are searching for a hospital, you just go to that website, and every time we keep refreshing that bot every hour. So that at least people get to know, okay, here is the bed, here is not the bed. If we could save their, say, 30 minutes in searching the hospital, that also we think can help them. So we try to give back to the society because that's where we belong, and if we will not do it, then who else will come and do? So that's our motto, serve the nation, serve the people, serve with integrity. Yeah.
That surely is making a huge impact, and the tech you were also mentioning, it's very it is something very impactful for the civilians. Apart from this, there's one question, really, back when you started, there's a lot of resistance in investors in the deep tech. because there's no, firstly, I think there's no instant gratification they get with the deep tech investment. So, when you started like Pfizer, and you guys are involved in a lot of these things, how was the finance being one of the hurdles back then?
So honestly speaking, finance is a hurdle for each and every company. Say if I'm saying it's not hurdle, I would be lying, or like I'm a billionaire by birth. So none of which is true for, at least for me. So finance is a big challenge for anyone. So far we are bootstrapped. We have been able to manage our unit. Since we are a product-based company, we make decent profit on the product which we are selling because of the innovation, because we do everything in-house. So we save a lot of cost, and then we have good profit margin on top of that. So using which we are sustaining, we are expanding our team and doing R&Ds. Having said that, through your portal also, I would like to request to investors to reach out to many such companies who are doing great, and let's be a more open-minded. I know the return may not be immediate, but we should I would say nurture these companies, because you never know, one of us can be future Apple, future Google from India.
Correct.
So we have to keep trying, and we have to keep believing in each other. That's how India will grow. You take example of Silicon Valley, getting funding there is not a big challenge.
Correct.
Most of the company get funded there. Whereas in India, it's still a bit challenging. But that's how it is. We are thriving through it. Everyone else is thriving, and many companies are doing great without even getting the funding. Pfizer is one of them. But we are open to funding. I do not see any harm in expanding.
Like you guys do a lot of in-house things. Do you think if I am bringing something from, let's say, Germany or China, that brings a lot of that comes in with a lot of trust when I'm selling those things to the buyers, or that in-house Indian-made things, is there still a problem with selling those things because there's a trust deficiency?
So in a way you're right, but actually that depends from sector to sector. If you talk about the defense sector, so our government policy, our honorable PM and other respected dignitaries, they are promoting Make in India products. I know when we let us take the real example of Pfizer one. Why I took out anyway. When we started 3 years back, we were not at par with many global competitors. But right now, we are at par with them, and we are in some feature, we are I would say a year or 2 years ahead of them also in a couple of things. If I talk about EW resistance, I don't think you cannot count you can count on the finger the number of companies whose drones are EW resistant. It's very few across the globe. Forget about India. So slowly, government is also helping in defense sector a lot. If I talk about defense, they prefer Made in India more than anything else. So we would like to thank our government and respected persons who are from defense, because of them only the startup in defense sector is thriving and they are blooming. So, so we owe something to them also.
Right. So initially, a lot of smartphone brands also lost. When we look at the early smartphone brands, many lost because they don't own their core IP. Do you think owning IP for the defense sector, for the drone sector that is very booming currently in India, is very important? And I think, as you mentioned, Government of India is also pushing at it. We should own our core IP.
So definitely, if you have something which you have invented, you should go for the IP. At least if it is commercially viable, and if you think it can be a good value or asset to your company, there is no harm in that. At Pfizer, we have applied more than 10 plus patents for the innovation which we have done. So that is what we are doing. But at the same time, I believe having an IP definitely gives you an extra edge. But how to put it in, I don't know. These days, technology is evolving very fast. Say you, at least in defense sector, You have invented something, and you will see like in drones or all, after 1 year that becomes kind of obsolete. So that does make that's kind of badge which you can definitely wear. Okay, I have as a company we have these many patents. But down the line, in the 5 years, how much relevant that technology or IP will be, that we need to we still need to see, because this sector is evolving very fast,
Yeah.
and lot of innovation is coming. Let me give you a real example. Like when Russia and Ukraine war started, the kind of drones which were used that time, if you're following the defense, so they were using optical fiber-based drone and all those things, correct? Now you see in the US and Iran war, the drones were totally different. They were long-range flying drone, fixed-wing drone, I would say, correct? They are evolving. The tech is evolving very fast, because in defense you always need to be on top. Suppose like someone is your enemy, so you need to think one step ahead of him. So what is the current trend? What is the surprising thing using which you can surprise your enemy? That is also very important in the defense. And once that surprise is out in the public, next time I don't think you will be using the same surprise. So you might need to invent something new. So here you always need to be on your toes. So that's the advantage and disadvantage of being in this sector. Like you cannot be relaxed at any moment. Say we have invented something and now we can say like, okay, for the next 5 years or 10 years, this will be our cash cow. That is not the case. Here, like it will be hardly a year or 2 years maximum the mileage you will get.
Yes, right. That is correct. Like it is a very rapidly changing and booming sector in India. Electronic warfare being one of the very defining factor in the coming geopolitical wars we are seeing and the conflicts we are seeing currently, right? So how do you exactly can you set a scene for me? Like if a drone is flying at very, drastic, very difficult situations in a very difficult terrain, how do that exactly navigate that drones essentially, how does that drone navigate in that blind in these harsh environments?
So there are a couple of ways. Like let us assume like if that is EW contested environment, then the things will change. And let's consider both in India.
Sorry to cut you. What is that AW?
Blue resistant is something like that, electronic warfare, which you were saying, na? So,
yeah, one thing.
So what happened?
Sorry to interrupt. Can you explain to me? Like, I'm not aware of this. I'm a 15-year-old and very new to this.
No, I respect your attitude and your curiosity towards learning new things, which is rare at your age. So I must appreciate that. So let me tell you. So what happens? Whenever a drone is flying in the air, so we call drone as unmanned air vehicle, correct? Because no pilot, at least no pilot is on the board, correct? So the drone uses certain things to fly. Like when you walk or I walk, so a drone needs few sensors. One of them is like magnetometer is there. Then GPS, which we call the eye of the drone. Okay, GPS is like getting the current location from satellite. Okay, here I am. Next moment, I need to go here. That is GPS. Then there is some RC communication between the person who is flying in the ground and the drone. So they communicate. They give some instruction to move forward, backward, left, right, or whatever. Go up and down. Okay? So what happened in the EW, that is electronic warfare contested environment now, people block or cut out these communications. They can cut down your GPS communication, and they can also cut down your the RC communication. You might have heard about anti-drone technology, correct? Jammer guns and all those things. They pretty much does the same thing. They cut down the drone communication with the ground station, or we call it the base station. So if a drone is flying in those kind of scenario, definitely we cannot rely on the GPS. We cannot rely on the ground instruction. In that time, like AI plays a good role, which makes drone aware of the terrain. If I pre-program the drone with that terrain, AI will help the drone to navigate through that difficult terrain. Sometime what we do at PISARV, like the way self-driving car is there, we have also created self-flying drones. The brain which sits on the drone and it helps them to navigate in difficult terrain. The way a pilot flies, definitely with the help of sensors. But the sensors are on board, like accelerometer is there, gyroscope will tell, okay, how much tilted I am. Okay. Then onboard camera, which will help you to real time see if there is some obstacle is there. There are a few other sensors also like LiDAR and all, which tells you okay some obstacle is 10 meter ahead or say at your right or left. So you navigate through those difficult terrain using those sensors in the EW contested environment. Say you're flying in your own country in a friendly terrain, then definitely you can see the live streaming from the drone and you can make the decision, or you can plan the path also. So all of the drones these days are autonomous drones also, where you just put the coordinate. Okay, I need to go to there. The drone will fly, and it will use some algorithm and it will go there and fly. So that's how a drone flies. Yeah.
Right.
And on the flip side, when we are talking about defense, it is as critical as this. And can you break down the mechanics of anti-drone for me as well?
So, say anti-drone is very simple. The way, let me give you a real life example. Suppose you and I are communicating with each other. Yeah? So I'm able to hear you and you are able to hear me. And now what happens? Like suppose someone needs to block this communication. What the person needs to do? He need to shout louder and close to your ear so that you cannot hear me. Say if there is loud noise behind you, or I am generating some loud noise behind you, you cannot hear me. That way I have cut down one of the communication. That is one kind of jamming. The second thing is the person may do something, some flickering with your camera, or he or she can turn off the light also. So you cannot see me. Right? So the people have disconnected two mode of communication, and one other way could be like they can go and shut down the internet. So like everything is lost. The same thing happens with the anti-drone. So anti-drone works on the similar way. Some of them break the communication between the pilot and the drone on the ground using some noise. Okay. So what happens? The frequency, correct? Like the drone, everything. The drone, most of the remote using 2.4 gigahertz bandwidth the channel to communicate with the drone. People block that channel by generating noise or some other means. Okay. Then GPS, I said now GPS it can be spoofed. Spoofed means the drone will be suppose the drone is at Bits Pilani, but somehow the spoofer will make the drone think no, I'm not at Bits Pilani, I'm at NIT Jaipur. I'm at Jaipur. So drone will start behaving erratically because it will think like okay, I need to go there and I am so far from it. It start flying toward that thing. So that is the called spoofing. Jamming is like we stop the communication from the satellite by generating noise which are more powerful. So that's how the anti-drone work, at least in the EW range. Then there are other way also, like you can go for hard kill, like you can throw a net, another drone can throw a net on the drone, so the drone will get. You know the interceptor drone these days, like you might have seen some drone is flying and hitting a drone in the air. So it's like air to air. Yeah. So that is also another way.
Happening last year.
Yeah. So interceptor is also one of the way where the drone will go and strike enemy drones. So these are the countermeasures by which you will bring down the drone. Here PISARV have also created something unique, which we were fortunate to show it to Honorable Raksha Mantriji on 4th of May this year only at NowTech Synopsis. So we created air-to-air drone jamming. So generally what happens with these jammers now, all of them are ground-based and they have big range also. But what happens, generally we fire them when the enemy drone is 1 or 2 kilometers closer to us. So we thought like why not neutralize them in the air? Say if some enemy country is sending 50 swarm drones on us, why to wait or why to allow them to come so closer? So what we do, like our anti-drone will fly in the air and it will neutralize them 10 kilometers behind, like 10 kilometers away from here. So it will create kind of individual shield in the air. We can also create some of our, we call it NAGPAS. So NAGPAS, I feel proud it's been inducted by at multiple units at Indian Army also.
Yeah, that's great. That's a very new innovation, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm saying you always need to think something new, surprising element. Maybe like down the line after 1 year or 2 years, this NAGPAS will not be that much relevant. Something else you or I need to invent, or one of our colleagues who are there in the meeting.
So since you are working, you guys are working with the national security and defense so closely, and you guys are achieving a lot of milestones over there. Can you share one story, or if something that reminds you of like one event that went like it was you were aiming to build something and ended up building something, and it was purely new and innovative, and it took a lot of like building out of the constraints as well.
Yeah.
So there are few things which we were initially we were trying to build something else and we ended up building something else. Let me take the recent example of Nagpass only. So initially we were not aiming to build something which will go and utilize the drone in it. So what we were thinking, like my partner like Rosni, Durgen and I, we were thinking like we need to create something in the anti-drone thing. We started building it from the scratch. So we were aiming to build something for the ground only because everything was on the ground. Then when we built it, like the weight was not much, 600 grams. Then we thought like, okay, just 600 grams. Why not let me mount it on the drone and fly it so that I will have a wider coverage. I can neutralize the enemy at the border itself, or I can go across that. That is the one thing. We also accidentally invented this EW resistant thing. So we were trying to implement some feature in the drone. Using which the drone can fly without GPS, some kind of algorithm. So that when we implemented that, then when we met with some army personnel, they said, "Sir, this is a good thing. This will allow us to fly our drone even in the GPS contested environment." So generally, what we do, these are the few instances which definitely came out. We were trying to build something, but something else came out. Yeah.
And when you are building for like you are building at labs, there's a lot of gap when we are doing something in lab and we are doing research, and when it is taken on ground, and it is like very different, altogether different environment. Like you mentioned, when you are building something that is going to be used by either drone pilot or army people, can you share like if there's one instance in the PISARV, that story where something was built and it couldn't go on ground, or it was giving some it was not apt for the situations, like that kind of story? That is something, and what you learned from that at the same time and implemented.
So you're saying some failures which we were trying to make. Yeah, definitely. Like I won't lie, there have been see, whenever we build something, say I build 10 products, out of which 3 or 4 only succeeds. The rest 5 or 6 do not see the light of the day.
Exactly.
One of the use cases is our underwater drone. Okay, so we built it. We built it with good invention, but there were there were some flaws in that, so we couldn't operationalize it. But what we do now, when we face the failure, we learn from it, and then we try to implement or make it better. We are fortunate here with God blessings, and definitely with the goodwill of the PISARV and the integrity of the team. Many senior persons from army, they are helping us, guiding us. Okay, from operation point of view, because see, you and I, we are engineers, correct? We are not on the battlefield every day, so we can imagine the scenario, we can develop. But the person who is in the battlefield or who is facing it every day, from there we get the first-hand information. These are the challenges, and you see now there are different government portals where you get the challenges, they are in public forum. You and I, you can also go and see them and develop something. So we keep monitoring those public forum also, what are the challenges the team is facing. Then when my team goes for the demo, or I go for the demo, or my partner and all, so we also interact with them. We try to get some information which is non-confidential and which we think we can help them by building something. So those kind of inputs also we get, and that's how now we are creating solutions which are catering their need. And day by day, once you start doing this now, and once you start solving, say you solve one problem, you will also gain the people's trust. Apart from the business, you also gain the trust. Then they will rely on. They will say, okay, PISARV is now solving my problem. Let me give them 2 more challenges. Then what happens now? The best marketing is the marketing by word of mouth, which we say. In defense, it propagates very easily. I have done this work with one unit. They will definitely say, okay, ये लोग अच्छा कर रहे हैं. Let's go with them. So he will like tell to each colleague, then we'll go and so then. So that's how like we spend it. Now, as of now, like PISARV is serving more than 45 units of Indian Army across the nation. We are in almost every geography, be it Leh Ladakh at 22,000 feet, our drones are flying there, be it Jaisalmer, be it Arunachal Pradesh, be it Northeast, our drones are everywhere with God's grace. Yeah.
That's great. Like, okay, out of curiosity, you mentioned water drones. So you
Underwater drones, yeah.
Underwater drones, because drones are usually we take it as it's flying up. What is exactly like? What was the thinking behind those underwater drones? If like.
So we were thinking actually, yeah. So see, that again, like when generally what was this came from a incident actually. So we created a drone which helps people, which generally saves people life when they are being drowned. So we deployed at Miramar Beach actually. We did a trial at Miramar Beach. So what happens is like we created a AI kind of model and we install it on along with our operating system. So when at the beach, if some person is being drowned, the drone will immediately take off and it will go near to that person and it will hand over a life-saving jacket to that person. What happens that the guy which the lifeguard who is at the beach, he takes roughly 1 to 2 minutes to reach to that person, and sometimes it becomes too late. We cannot save that people. Whereas the drone does this within 20 to 25 seconds. So during that time, accidentally one of our drone like fell into the water, but it was flying. When we took it out, it was in good shape. So and even on the water, it was floating. So we thought that clicked as okay, why not bring something for the underwater, because you see like there is lot of use cases like forget about the saving, forget about the business use case. Say dam, inspection of dam. Okay, the dam is so deep. You are a civil engineer, correct? You can correlate. So the underwater drone can go deep and see if there is any crackage or not. Then the railway bridges are there. There are many bridges like half of some of the part is submerged in the water. So the underwater drone can go inside and inspect them closely. Correct. And then definitely there could be like defense use cases where the drone can carry something, some payload or some weapon, whatever is needed. That can also be done. It can also be used by divers. You know, like what happens like we call them Gotagor in Hindi. So they cannot be in water for more than 2 minutes. Right? It's a human capacity. You have to come out and take a breath, then again you have to go down. So what happens sometimes the search and rescue operation take a lot of time because of that. Whereas a normal underwater one which PISARV is currently having can easily be in underwater for 1 hour. So 1 hour is a big area you can do search and rescue of those things. So yeah, that's how the underwater thing works.
Right.
And I guess pure motors like the waterproof motors and basic physics and mechanics, the thing which keeps it floating in the air, the same thing keeps it submerged in the water. The same buoyancy. Correct. You have to solve the problem buoyancy either in the air or in the water.
Right. Like, so out of curiosity again, when you were interacting with the people on ground on the daily basis, can you share one thing? Like, what was the biggest problem you thought it was thrown to you to solve, or you took it like this is the biggest problem and we need to solve this? With respect to defense, I'm talking.
There are many. I will just consider the non-confidential one. Okay. I will. So one is the flight time of the drone. So generally, what happens with the drone or quadcopters? The flight time is not that big. They fly for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Whereas for some operations or for something, you need drones which can be in air for more than 1 hour or something like that. So that is the one thing. Then second is the drone should be able to fly in extreme weather. Like as I said, like India is a very different terrain, correct? The challenges at say Jaisalmer or Rajasthan area is different. The wind speed is very high, correct? Whereas in the northeast or the high Leh Ladakh, challenge is different. The terrain is very high. So those kind of challenges we get. Like one is the battery life. So the drone should be endurance, which we call. It should be high. It should be able to fly at high altitude. As I said, like it should be able to fly in low light and in dense area. Like it should be able to navigate without colliding the things. then
Correct.
definitely every country is looking for the EW resistant drone these days. Like the drone should operate in EW contested environment also. So those are the challenges which we keep getting. Like trust me, like every day I get one challenge at least, whether we solve it or not. But now we are at that scale. Like we get at least one problem statement every day, and
Wow.
then some of them we try to solve, some of them we cannot solve at this moment. We add them in our backlog and we try to see how we can solve them.
Right. And like with lot of drone startup and with lot of people approaching the problem with the lot of support from the government, Indian government, uh, there's still a lag. I feel like we are not up to the, like par with the countries all across. Like I was talking to a person from Nigeria. He was a drone pilot. So these guys, like they were also involved with the drones, and they were also like he was having a company. He was manufacturing the drones. So there's a lot of, I feel, technological lag. What, according to your point of view, is one bottleneck this industry is facing currently, and where do exactly we lag?
So, lag cannot be like, see, the things like the semiconductors and all, right? As an engineer, we know the semiconductors and the chips, which are fabricated chips and all. So, India is catching up. I would not say lag. We started making them. So, at least if we are doing something, that is better than not doing anything, correct? So
Yes.
we are trying to catch up there, but we are still I would say a bit behind them in fabrication and manufacturing of the semiconductor chips and all. But I'm very optimistic. Like in next few years, we'll catch up there. In terms of innovation, I would say there is no dearth of talent in India. People are innovating and catching up the thing. At least in the drone industry. Let us take a real example, the war which took place between India and Pakistan last year. So you saw Indian drones were able to go across the border and perform that whatever task which were intended from them. Whereas we were able to stop almost all of the drones from entering our country through our anti-drones and other mechanisms. So there is no, and now you see many big giants in India, big companies in India, they are also building the big drones. We are fortunate like DRDO, ISRO and all. They are also coming up with a lot of invention. In fact, DRDO is helping and setting up funds for the startups to come up and solve the challenges. And now we should also thank to university like Pilani or NIT or IIT. They are also collaborating with the startup, the professors and all. They are very helpful and very enthusiastic towards inventing something. So okay, it's fair to say we are still slightly behind. I would not say. I will say, but we are catching up very fast. And now you see when all of us try to build something now, when so many people are coming together, great minds are coming together and working then I don't see I see the sunrise is very very near and we are at 5 a.m. next 1 hour we shall be able to see some beautiful sunrise in the sky.
We have a lot of innovators, in-house innovators in India, and
India is catching up. Really catching up. I would request you guys to go out, visit any Bootstrapping is definitely a hub of innovation. I feel proud to be associated with this organization. You and I we both share this common college, so it's a proud for me to be associated with this college. But yeah, apart from Bootstrapping, now each and every college. See, at PISARV now we also set up drone labs in some engineering college. That is another aspect. The main aim is not the business, but we wanted to help and educate students from the early college days. So when they come out of the college now, we know this industry is gonna will be there for next 20 to 30 years. So there will be a lot of demands, correct? So students also needs to be equipped with those things. They should know at least how the things work. And trust me, students are very very innovative and their learning curve is very fast. So we feel proud the students these days are and they are being exposed to so many things which we were not aware of your age actually. You guys are doing so wonderful things. So kudos to all of you also.
That's great. I feel there's a lot of people coming in with innovation. A lot of actually at Bootstrapping we have a lot of drone things. Appalling was there, And for a young engineer, entrepreneur coming to you for a piece of advice, what is firstly biggest again bottleneck for this industry? Because I feel this is a very new industry and very technical one. People usually go for the basic sectors. What is the biggest bottleneck? To be fair with the fresh mind, and what is the most critical piece of advice you will give?
So the biggest bottleneck, I would say there is no biggest bottleneck. The government is supportive. The ecosystem is also building up. Critical advice definitely I would like to give. I will just say like stick to your basic and don't try to copy. Actually, see it's very easy to copy someone and get fame overnight. But trust me, when you end up many sleepless nights in the lab now, and then when you create something and then start making some impact, the more you like sweat on the the more sweat and effort you put, the greater the chances of your success. So do not run for shortcuts. Do not try to copy someone, and do not run for fame. Actually, to be very honest, because the current trend is like to create something and just to make it available over the internet and get the fame overnight, which is also not bad actually. Everyone wants to be famous, but at the same time, put your heart into it. That's my humble request to everyone. Put your heart and effort into it, then you will chase. Because it's very easy to fool anyone, but at the end of the day, I cannot fool myself. The same holds true for everyone. The only person who know what is the real truth is none other than you or I. Like myself, or for in case of you, it will be yourself. Correct? Your inner consistence, or your whatever you call, like your mind or something like that. It will always keep telling you, "नहीं, ये गलत है, ये सही है, है ना? आप नहीं कर सकते." So trust to stick to that basic. And trust me, you will always succeed. Whatever you do, whether you build drone, you build any website or anything, you will always succeed.
Right. That is a very beautiful piece of advice, Abhishek. Yeah. And ultimately, so you are building, ultimately, when you look back at what you are building, what exactly serving a nation in 2026 does exactly feel to you, mean to you?
So it means a lot to me. I feel blessed and I feel lucky. We are able to create something through which we are growing. We are able to serve the nation. We are building something in the lab which is helping our defense forces, making the life easier, saving our soldiers' life. So that's a kind of a feeling which we cannot express in the word, but we definitely feel a lot of proud of it. And when we get pat on the back from different senior leaders or different army personnel, senior army personnel, or honorable ministers and all, so that further motivates. Okay, let's keep doing the thing. So for me, we feel very, very proud to be associated with this defense industry, and it's a way to serve our country. Though we are not in uniform, but we serve the country even without being in the uniform.
Yeah, right. And we also feel very proud. Like you guys are doing a wonderful job, and you. So thank you very much, Abhishek, for joining in and taking time out for this call. And it was a wonderful conversation with a lot of insights.
Looking forward.
Thank you so much. I sincerely thank you and your team for. I sincerely thank you and your team for this wonderful opportunity. It always feels great to connect it with young minds like.